You got to think of each of your customers as a little cranberry seedling that, this little cranberry plant that you have now acquired a new little cranberry plant in your cranberry orchard, and that you're going to put your cranberry plant in the ground, and you need to water it, and you need to take care of it, and maybe sing to it in the evenings in order to encourage it to grow and yield cranberries for you. And the more and so, like, most people are getting these cranberry plants, they're pulling the cranberries off the cranberry plant, throwing the cranberry plant away, putting the cranberries in the basket, and going to get a new cranberry plant. Well, the yield is 5% or 1% of what that cranberry tree could be if you put it in the ground, water it, give it some care, and love on it a little bit. That could be a massive orchard of cranberry plants that could feed you and a multi-million-dollar business in just a short period of time. And people are throwing the trees away when they really need to be watering them and helping them grow, because they think of their thing as the asset rather than the customer as the asset. And I know many of the customers are treating you badly. They're yelling at customer service. Those you can throw away and build your business in a way that cuts the weeds out and gets rid of the bad trees and yet lets the good trees grow. And because that yield is 1,000 times what you're going to get by trying to get more new customers.
That's absolutely awesome. I was trying to remember, there's a quote that I cannot remember anyway, but it's like going from zero to a certain level of growth is all about the marketing. Then going from, that level of growth to a much greater level of growth is all about the customer. So I think that's kind of, along the same lines as what you're talking about there.
Yeah, that's number one, is really understanding that all the assets that you're going to have to sell in this business is based on the customer. And then the next piece is, for subscription businesses, it's really your subscription tiers. And very often a subscription business has copied tiers off of somebody else, and they have these incremental pricing tiers based on what they deliver. And it's like, they think in terms of gating content and gating what they offer. A SaaS business, they think in terms of features, like, okay, well, only this tier unlocks those features and that tier unlocks that feature. Or, publishing business thinks in terms of, okay, well, we're going to gate this type of content and let people have that. And that's totally backwards. And instead, create the subscription tiers based on the who is buying them. Because within your customer base, there are people who have different values for what you deliver, and different values. What you deliver has a different value to them based on what they're doing with it. And, for instance, if you are offering craft merchandise, well, a grandma working with, doing some crafts with their child has one value for that craft. If they can download your files and create a T-shirt with their grandkid that their grandkid can wear to school, then that has a certain value, because that grandma is probably pretty price sensitive. But if there is somebody who is selling those T-shirts at the flea market or the farmer's market on Saturdays, and they're creating Halloween T-shirts at the 1st of October, and they're kind of fun Halloween shirts, well, they've got a different value. Now, if that business is actually selling that merchandise online, then there's a whole nother value. Or if that business is a multinational company that is selling, Halloween crap, costumes into every costume store, then that's a whole different value. And so you want to price your images, your artwork, for the customer and what they're going to do with it, versus for the gating of the stuff. And what that allows you to do, what people don't understand, they kind of get that, okay, the customers who pay more are going to give us more revenue. What they don't understand is that also improves retention, because the customer is right sized for what you're delivering. Because even if you get the grandma to buy at the premium price level, she's going to quit because she's not using all the stuff that you're able to deliver. And even if like trying to gate it for the person who's in business doesn't work either. So by having a right size for that customer, they feel good about the fit. And so they stay way longer and so you improve by having the right pricing model, the tiered pricing, you improve your conversion because people see, oh, that's exactly for me. And it's a right fit for them. And you also improve your retention because they stay longer, and you're better monetizing the subscriber by charging a higher price for the customers. It has a 10x impact on your overall revenue and business. But that first thing is you got to see the customer as the asset, think in terms of them, then right size your tiered pricing, and then we are in a position to implement all those tactics. Tactics before that are going to have a little incremental impact on your cancellation process. But now, like once you have the tiers right, now we can do a cancellation process that helps people find the right size tier, and we save them at a much higher rate than just like, oh, let's try to do this, last second half off offer. And I was like, if I didn't like what I was getting, or it made me feel bad because I wasn't using it, paying half, like my wife is not twice as happy with the buffet because they dropped the price from 45 to 22. She still feels like she's not getting the value out of it. So trying to save her with a half price offer ain't going to work. So it's seeing the customers as the assets, being able to get your tiers right, then we can implement those tactics and have a massive impact on your subscription growth.
In your opinion, like, are there characteristics of a great membership like program? Is there, does like every kind of repeat billing, business model that works really, really well? Like, what are some of the similarities or some of the commonalities that these things have that you think are kind of essential elements for almost every program?
Yeah, there needs to be a fast action offer, and usually some sort of lead acquisition process. Right now, I love email newsletters as a lead acquisition tool. Because of businesses like Morning Brew and The Hustle, and even Facebook, they have created a belief that free customers have a value to the business. And it used to be, you remember, Caleb, when we were first doing these opt-in things, we didn't really see that they had a value until they actually became a customer. We'd throw these leads away. In the direct mail days, when we were paying, tens of dollars to send a follow-up mailed package to convert a lead into a customer, we'd if somebody became a lead, we'd give up on them after 90 days because we'd already spent 50, 60 bucks trying to convert that person into a customer. We're throwing them away after 90 days, focused on the new ones because, we figured we'd already gotten the value out of the leads we generated. Well, email and online completely changed all of that. Now, all of a sudden, building a media company where we have the attention of tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or maybe even a million types of people with a certain interest or a certain type of demographic, now all of a sudden had tremendous value. And recently, in the last 8 years, advertisers have shown up ready and willing to buy ads in email newsletters that go to that type of demographic. And so now these opt-ins or these lead lists would, even though 90% of them maybe have never bought from us, their attention in the form of an email newsletter has value as a business to sell, and for investors, and also for outside advertisers. And so now there's this value of that in as a platform, and it's easy to get opt-ins for it. And so your cost per lead. So having this email newsletter is a fundamental piece of almost all the subscription businesses today. Next is when you're getting that opt-in, don't, like in the regular email newsletter world, they think like, mission accomplished. I got a new subscriber to my email newsletter. Well, at monetization, we know that, that's where it's really just begun. We have a email follow-up sequence that converts that customer into a subscriber at full price. Then there is a follow-up sequence to that, maybe then week 2, week 3, that offers some discounts, maybe some special bonuses if they join right away. We introduce deadline. That's the key thing of conversion into a subscription, is having some sort of deadline offers. You try to cream the crop as much as you can at the full priced offer, over the first 3 to 5 days, but then you introduce some deadline offers in order to improve conversion from those leads. You're still fulfilling the newsletter. You promise them a newsletter, you send them a newsletter, and you also send them a deadline offer that converts them into being a subscriber. That offer, once you get them into the buying process, you maximize the value of that initial transaction as much as possible. Maybe try to upgrade to a higher tier, or if you have other products. I are working with a business teaching fishing, and one of the things that they also have a tackle store. So first we try to get them from one tier to the next. And then after the subscriber has chosen their tier, we have packages of tackle that they can buy. And so that we're maximizing that transaction and getting them to enjoy the tackle that they're buying, rather than going to some big box retailer and buying tackle. And then the ongoing relationship. We're looking to connect them to other subscribers so that they see that there's people like them within this community. They also see that there's other people that are successful with the subscription, and they kind of like, oh yeah, I kind of like these people. They kind of believe the same thing about me that I believe. And you're integrating them into, it doesn't necessarily need to be a community where they're actually interacting. You're simply, through your media, showing them other subscribers using your product and enjoying that subscription. And so that's how you go from that initial lead conversion at a low ad cost to getting the subscriber, to connecting them with your other subscribers, so that, like, even if it's just a subscription box, your media shows them other people who are getting that same subscription box, and they're able to see how those other subscribers are using it and how much they love it. And so that's really the model that I've been trying to that I've been implementing now for, I don't know, 30 years.
So if you enjoyed this clip and you'd like to benefit from more monetization secrets, go and register now for Monetization Daily. You can go to monetizationresearch.com to get it. It is a free newsletter that is absolutely awesome. It is delivered to your email inbox, and it contains lots of great monetization tips, tactics, and strategies that you will love. Again, head on over to monetizationresearch.com to get it now.